Another one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome to Across the Pitch. So I think I've got three issues or two issues that I wanted to talk to you about. The first thing is to do with Morocco. Right. Look, the Africa Cup of Nations has been done, has been finished, has been finalized, right? And we thank Morocco for hosting it. And as much as there was issues, it's in the final game. I think it's now up to FIFA, up to CAF, up to Morocco, up to Senegal. Whoever is going to be fined, whoever is going to be penalized, whatever happens. But there is an issue. They were talking about the issue of racism and all those kind of things. It's said that those issues crop up in Africa, and knowing that the majority or the people that are supposed to look at these things are African people, and why would we start throwing bananas on each other and all those kind of things? But it's not something that I wanted to talk about today. I just wanted to talk about the readiness of Morocco, as we know that Africa actually is one of the three continents that is actually going to host the World Cup in 2030. There is Africa, there is Europe, as well as South America. So in South America, there is Paraguay, there is Uruguay, there is Argentina, and then in Europe is going to be Spain and Portugal, and then in Africa is going to be Morocco. So let's talk, being an African, let's talk about Morocco. I think on my side, my thinking, I don't know what about you, I think Morocco is ready, right? It's ready for the World Cup. They've done so well, and looking at um, their stadiums, right? I saw about three beautiful, beautiful stadiums. We talk about the Rabat Stadium where the final was actually held. That is a beautiful stadium. It's actually 69,500 capacity, which is bigger than your Chelsea Stanford Bridge. The reason why I'm comparing with the Chelsea is because Chelsea is my team, and we've been talking about these things in my previous videos, that Chelsea needs to build stadiums. And unfortunately, this is a very big stadium, and it's beautiful the way it was designed. Top of the range, right? There is also a stadium in Casablanca, and I think Casablanca is their what is their capital, right? That's their well-known town, actually, city. Um, it's about 45,000. Beautiful, beautiful. So it's also bigger than your Stanford Bridge. Then you also go to Tangier. I think Tangier or Tangi, something like that. It's also a very big stadium. I think we saw games, matches being played there. It's also 75,000 capacity, very big stadium. So they have done so well. They've renovated the stadiums. They've built stadiums, and they're still building the stadium because they are building what they call their flagship stadium. It's actually going to be one of the biggest stadiums in the world. This stadium is going to have a capacity of 115, right? So it means that you have 115 spectators, supporters in that stadium. So it's one of the biggest stadiums. In England, there is no stadium like that. Let's be clear, right? I'm not sure in Spain, probably the Real Madrid stadium and the Barcelona stadium. These stadiums they are also less than 100,000. So there's no stadium. They might be 95 to 100. So they are smaller stadiums. And I think the biggest stadiums that is available, maybe they might have this kind of capacity stadiums, is in United States of America, where there is American football and all those kind of things. But as you know, that they also use those stadiums for football or for soccer, what they call it soccer in America. So I think that they've done so well. They are ready. I think in the next 2 3 years, all what they need to concentrate now is to do with security of players, security of supporters, security of match officials. If they are done that, I think they will be ready. They will just be waiting for probably finalizing one or two things on the stadiums. But for me, they done so well. I didn't have any issues. I mean, didn't hear any issues regarding transport system in Morocco. I heard they've got beautiful trains, they've got beautiful buses. So they've done so well. So we must be thankful. We must give them thumbs up, and let's see what happens in the next 3 years, right? I've also seen that I think in the next 2 years, the next Africa Cup of Nations will be in Tanzania, will be in Kenya, and also Uganda. So the stadiums, they are beautiful stadiums. I think I've seen one in Kenya where they've put it's beautiful. Put what do you call it? There is this shield that is on their flag. It's actually on the stadiums, and so it's beautiful. Let's just see what will happen the next 2 years. I'm not sure how ready is Tanzania, and also how ready is Uganda. But as we know that Uganda is one of the best countries in Africa. So let's hope. I think we should be starting to see the improvements and the pictures coming out of those countries to see how ready they are. Okay, so let's go to Chelsea. So in the last 2 3 4 days, right, we hear there is a name that is coming up, right? It's all over the media, all over, everyone is talking about it. There is a guy called Jeremy Jacquet, right? Jeremy plays in France. He's a central defender, right? I think he's 20 years old. This guy has played 1 year in France in the top level, 1 year. Done. Right. So Chelsea wants to buy him for 65 million euros, right? 1 year experience, 65 million euros, right? Let's put it aside. Let's bring in Mr. Mark Gay. Mark Gay has played over 5 seasons in the uh, ESL, like in the English Premiership. Almost 5 seasons. He played for Crystal Palace. He's played for Chelsea. He's done so well. He's grown up in the Chelsea Academy. He's grown up with KU. He's grown up with quite a number of players, right? He's 22 somewhere there, 22, 23, right? Now, this is the story. Marquez refused to sign for a new contract at Crystal Palace a season ago, right? And then Liverpool was very much interested. He was supposed to go to Liverpool. I think at one point we heard that he's actually flying to Liverpool to sign a contract. Then eventually something went wrong. And then the Crystal Palace chairman said, no, look, we are not going to sell you now. We'll sell you in 2026. And then he said, no, that's fine. I think he was still trying to persuade him to sign a contract. And he said, no. Right. So now it's 6 months to the end of his contract. It means that the value that he had last year has gone down, right? And we all know that Mike if he's played for England national team and all those kind of things, so he could be worth even 65 million pounds or 70 or 80. People can pay that. But Chelsea was there watching. This is their product, right? This is their son. This is somebody that will grow up from the academy, right? They were there watching, no movement, no nothing. Maresca said he wanted a defender last year. He wanted someone good, someone with experience. This is Mike Gay, who also meet their age limits, right? He was still in that age limit, but they let him. Manchester City wanted by Mike Gay for almost 20, 25 million. So this is how funny it is. It's funny. You have got an experienced player, someone who's there in the market, someone whose value is reduced because he refused to sign a contract for 20 million. Now you want to go and buy someone who doesn't even have an experience, someone who's just played for one season in another country. You don't even know if he's going to perform better in your country. I don't know whether he speaks English or not. Is going to be issue. Does he settle well in England or not? He's also going to pay 65 million. Make it make sense for me. It doesn't make sense. Let's put that aside. Chelsea has got 6 defenders at the moment that are sitting in England, right? There's Towson, there is Chalaba, there's Badiashile, there's Disasi, there's Levi Kewi, there is Fofana. 6. The seventh one it's Chala, it's Achimpong. I mean, yes, Achimpong is the seventh defender sitting there. All these players that I've talked about, they play central defense, right? 2 positions, you've got 7 defenders. All right. Now you still want to bring all these players, they've played for Chelsea. All these players, they've been at Chelsea for over a year. All these players, they've played central defense. They have more experience than this guy that you want to bring in France, right? You've got another player, 2 players that has done so well on loan. We've got Mamadou Sarr. We saw him. We saw him playing for Senegal. Very good defender, very, very good defender, right? He played 2 matches, very good defender, 20-year-old. He's playing for Salzburg, doing very well, right? We have got this Argentinian guy. His name is Anselmo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly. He's at Borussia Dortmund, doing very well, playing week in, week out. So why would you need another defender? Okay, I would say Person, Chalaba, and Badiashile and Disasi must go. 4 defenders, they can go, right? But you can use that money to buy a striker. We don't have a number 9. We don't have a number 9. You can go there and buy a striker with that money. Why do you want to 9 defenders to come? Hato can also play central defense. We know that he's a cover on the left side, but he can also play central defense. Why would you want to do that? So I'm not understanding what Chelsea is trying to do. I really don't understand what are the issues at Chelsea. What are their plans? You see, we hear that what is it, Chalaba and Tosun, they're left with 2 years on their contract, right? So if they don't sign contracts in June, July, right, they'll be sold, right? So if they say, no, we don't want to go, we'll stay here. Just like your other players, they on the bomb squad who are just sitting there earning a salary and sitting. What are you going to do? So I don't understand what Chelsea is doing. I really don't understand what they are actually trying to do. But it's something that I think people must sit down and look at. Is it really necessary to bring this guy here? And what's the rush? We have got all these defenders that we have. They are all healthy. They can still play for the next 4 months. So what are the issues? Then we go in the summer, we buy. We need to sell these players first. The players that we have, we need to sell them and then bring in what? New players. We've got a lot of players that needs to be sold, that needs to go on loan. We still need to deal with this. So I don't understand what is happening. So thank you guys for watching. I think we are going to have another video in the afternoon. We'll see. There's a lot that is going to happen. There is Champions League is coming today. I know there is this team for David Luiz is coming to Stamford Bridge. I hope he's going to come. I hope he's going to play. My understanding is injured, but I think it will be good for Chelsea fans to see David Luiz. I think he also one of our top former defenders that played for Chelsea. So and Chelsea needs to win it as well because I think we are number 12 or number 13 in the Champions League table. So we need to go to number 8 so that we can have automatic qualification. So let's see what happens. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Until we meet again, have a good day. Bye-bye.